Sorry. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Two Comic Book Dudes. We are sitting here after both having seen Star Wars, The Force Awakens, the newest episode of the series, and everybody else has seen it too, hopefully by now. If you haven't, don't watch this show.
Go. Yeah, turn this off and go to the theater.
So we're going to spoil it for you. So, you've had now Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to see it. You've had 4 days, hopefully, and more than enough opportunity. 7 days if you're in the UK. I think they got it 3 days early, didn't they?
Yeah, they got it like Monday or
14th. Yeah. So if you haven't seen it yet, please don't watch this if you don't want it spoiled. We will be talking about specific scenes and specific characters and births and deaths and mutations and whatever other kinds of things happened in this movie. So
and interpreting dreams.
Yes. Since I just took a course on that last week and I want to try it out. Anyway,
mail yet?
Yes.
Wait,
actually, yep. I have a plaque to hang up on the wall outside of my front door. People can come to my house, and I can charge them. Be like, "You hate your mother," so there you go. Like, how did you know?
I'm sensing trauma in your past.
You have a friend who has cancer. Who doesn't? Right? Yeah.
You have a friend who has a family member.
Yes, right. It's that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon thing, right? Oh, anyway, back to the story here. So we're talking about Star Wars Episode 7. People are talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. It made $120.5 million on its opening day. And it had actually pre-sold $100 million worth of tickets before release, so before it opened. So that's something for a movie. That's a big deal. Of course, it's a major component of pop culture. Star Wars is everywhere. It's series has been around since 1977, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was 3 years old.
Well, the latest estimate I heard just a little while ago, like less than an hour ago, was that they're going to put it at $238 million
for opening weekend.
So that makes it number one, beating Jurassic World at 208.
That's pretty good.
Jurassic Park, whatever the newest one was. World?
Yeah, Jurassic World. Yeah. It just came out on Blu-ray a few weeks back. So, maybe a month or so. But yeah, I don't know if we bought it or not.
So that means that Disney has had the record twice in the last year, because Avengers said it, and then Jurassic World beat it, and now Star Wars took it back.
Right. It's hard to believe. But yeah, a lot of money out there floating around between people, and we're not seeing a penny of it. So, that's all right. So, I thought this movie was great. I really, really liked it. So if that makes you want to turn the show off right now, there's a guy on YouTube who talks about how much he hates the show and actually walked out of the movie halfway through. I think he lied. I don't believe that he walked out halfway through. But he did have some pretty strong opinions. All of them stupid.
Yes.
But, yeah. So,
I don't know. If you just don't like this type of movie, if you just don't like sci-fi and stuff, this wouldn't be up for you. But there's more to it than that. This is a story. You could take it and put it in any setting.
It's not an action movie. It's this
one had more comedy elements to it.
I really felt like it did. In fact, the beginning part almost felt like some of the interaction between Poe Dameron, pilot for the Republic or the Rebels, Resistance. He's the best pilot. And Finn, or FN 2187, right?
Yes.
So the interactions between the two of them in the beginning, very funny. A lot of quips back and forth, and I really enjoyed that because it was kind of like Luke and Han firing them back and forth like they did in the original. I've heard a lot of people drawing parallels between this and Episode 4, A New Hope. And if you don't understand that Star Wars is designed to be cyclical in nature, every trilogy is a cycle, and every cycle is designed to be similar. different outcomes every time, but similarities all the way through. So in episode 1, as much as people want to hate that movie, you had a boy or a child who was found on a desert planet and taken in, trained to be a Jedi, and ends up becoming a force to kind of level out the universe in a way.
Right.
And this, A New Hope was the same way. A child or a young person was found on a planet, a desert planet, brought into to be trained as a Jedi, whether it was by one old grumpy Yoda or what, and ends up leveling out the universe again. And the same thing here. This is the beginning of another cycle. A child or a young person is found on a desert planet and is to be trained up as a Jedi to eventually level out the universe, however that's going to happen.
Right.
So, yeah. A lot of the story revolves around the idea that Luke Skywalker disappeared. 18 years ago or something? He's been gone for a while.
He's been gone since Kylo Ren became Kylo Ren.
Yeah. So we have Luke Skywalker went off to begin training a new group of Jedi. Yep. Bring up new Padawans and whatever. So that was great. He wanted to revive the Jedi. We've seen, sort of seen that happen before that idea happened. And in this case, as it always happens, one person turns to the dark side. Now, whether it was through the influence of others or what, Kylo Ren is that person. Yep. And his, his draw to the dark side is strong, but he's an interesting character because all the way through this movie, he's back and forth.
Yeah, he's super conflicted.
Yeah, he says he can feel the light there, but he just needs to try to push it away. And definitely an evil influence from the big guy on the
but is it really big, or is it just the projection that's big?
That's what I think.
The emperor back in the day, like his head was the size of a room,
Right. So. Kind of like the Great and Powerful Oz.
Right.
That was the idea. So, yeah. Sorry, dropped my cap on the floor. But then I wondered, looking at this guy, he's all like beat up and scarred up and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Could he be the Emperor and the Emperor had just survived? Is that too much?
I mean, I don't know. He looks like a completely different race.
He does. He does.
Say species, not race, but
yeah.
I mean, it's very possible. But you always there could be another explanation that the Emperor wasn't like the be all end all. Like there were other Sith or whatever, since they didn't say Sith at all in this movie.
True. The Knights of Ren actually were the group that Kylo Ren was a part of. So the Knights of Ren were an order
that came after.
Yeah, they weren't actually Sith, but they were followers of the dark side.
Mm-hmm.
So, in interpretation, that is Sith.
Right.
We didn't hear about the Sith at all in episode 4, 5, or 6.
Right.
That idea came about in the
prequel.
In episode 1. Yeah. So I don't know. Just like before the Sith, I mean, there were other orders in the old books back before Disney bought.
That's what we're told in the Cantina scene.
Right.
That it always takes a different name. It just so happens that now the dark side is calling itself the Order.
Right. Yeah, the First Order. Right.
First Order. Yeah.
So Kylo Ren has this army of stormtroopers, First Order stormtroopers, and they are really kind of the army of the Empire again. Still trying to.
Go ahead. I was just saying, there's a main difference between these stormtroopers and the stormtroopers we've seen in the past. These stormtroopers are not clones.
Right. Well, now the stormtroopers in episode 4, 5, and 6 weren't either.
Oh, were they just recruited the same way?
They were just recruited, because
children all the way up.
Right. As opposed to being, or just recruited like regular people are recruited in the military. I mean, the stormtroopers are the military of the Empire.
Right.
So people were just drafted into it or volunteered. So
take over now. You're part of our stuff. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. In the originals, yes, we had the clones and all that stuff, and the clone troopers and all that. But I think, as we moved forward, that 20 years gap between.
Yeah.
Well, you had to, a lot of what happened with the, not the Genosians, but whoever they were.
Yeah, the ones that made them. It was interesting. They said that when Finn is found out that he's defective in their eyes because he basically betrays them.
Yeah.
That it suggested maybe we should go back to the clones. We didn't have this problem with the clones.
Right. That's true. Yeah, so it's interesting because we know they're different. They're people now, but they still understand that there were clones that were used, and so it's still a concept there or something available for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we get through a lot of the story in the beginning with Rey, this character who was a girl that we find out was left behind by her family and actually sold to this junker on the planet Jakku, and the junker pretty much requires her to go out and scavenge and salvage whatever she can in order to turn it in for whatever kind of rations that she gets each day. It's a little thing to make bread or something, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's how she survives. Now, again, I've heard a lot of complaints about the feminist manifesto and whatever being in. I'm like, she's a strong character. She's a female lead. A lot of stories are going that way. We've had two males, in the first two series. Nothing wrong with having a female lead this time.
Oh no, that's completely fine. I didn't find that it took away from the movie in any way whatsoever. And I mean, I think the character was great and amazing. So.
Oh yeah. They did a great job, and I like that there were still, like, in the original you had Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Anakin,
mm-hmm.
but then you also had Padme.
Yep.
So you had like 3 guys and a girl, right? And then in episode 4 you had Luke, Han, Chewie, and Leia. It's 3 guys and a girl.
Right.
And then in this one you have Finn, Poe, Han, and Rey. 3 guys and a girl.
Yep.
And in the first series you have, one of those guys die. And in the second series you have, well, you don't have one of those guys die, but still.
But somebody does die in the first one.
Yes. And then in this one, somebody dies.
Yep.
So
somebody always dies in the first one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's right. And in 4, we have Obi-Wan, and I guess we could say Obi-Wan, Luke, Han, and Leia would be the 4, and not include Chewie. So yeah. Still the same kind of cycle, though. Again.
Right.
So in this one, we have. Again, the old guy dies. Like, the old guy dies in episode 1, old guy dies in episode 4, old guy dies in episode 7.
Well, it's like whoever carries over. Because Obi-Wan was the only one that carried over, and Han was the only one that carried over. Oh.
That's true. Yeah. So Han dies. Sorry, folks.
Whoever the oldest one is.
Right. Yep. Like, well, we'll give you a contract for one more movie. What does that mean? You know what that means. So, but the event of his death in this movie, very, very important to the plot. A key step on Kylo Ren's path to becoming whatever he's going to become. So, we have Rey, who really is this young girl, untrained, who immediately understands the Force. I mean, in a way that
able
to
tap into it quickly. Yes.
Yeah, and just like Luke in that way. She finds Luke's lightsaber at what was the Paz? The little eyeball creatures. Paz. It's Paz's place. Anyway, this little fortress where traders and everybody came to. It was kind of a free port. And she had this box down in the basement in the dungeon, and it was Luke's lightsaber. And so Rey goes to it and she touches it and she has this vision. She sees all kinds of things.
Yep. She gets Force visions.
Yeah, it's very cool. And later on, Kylo Ren is, like
Probing her
trying to
mind.
get out of her what he needs, and he says, I thought it was cool because he says islands, and then later on
Yeah,
at the
he's
end of
like,
the movie,
I see your ocean and your island.
right? But he doesn't know what that means.
Right. Well, no, that's just like her. That he says, I see your dreams.
Yeah,
I see your ocean. I see your dreams. So he was just saying, like, I can get into your dreams. I know what you always want.
yeah. But it's interesting that at the end, and here comes the end, folks. Sorry. At the end, when she goes to look for Luke, where does she find him?
On a water planet.
On an island in the ocean.
Yep.
So, in a way, the visions she saw or the dreams that she had were of that meeting where Luke was. And so it's very interesting. There's a lot of speculation before the movie came out that Kylo Ren was Luke, and we don't know where Luke is and how come Luke doesn't show up. Well, he shows up for like 3 minutes at the end of the movie.
Yep.
And he doesn't say a word.
But
the camera,
he tears up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Look, go watch it again.
I didn't really see that. I mean, I kind of saw that he was like, maybe he was having a stroke or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
she was already crying and he was tearing up.
Yeah. It's kind of like, the one person in the world that he really needed to see right then was somebody who could sense the Force like he could and wanted to do good, wanted to be part of the light side and carry on the battle. And
right.
And then too, I think that her being in proximity, he already knew what had happened with Han, but he kind of got confirmation of it from her.
Yeah.
I was kind of, yeah. Well, and we know she was strong in the Force because Luke had said that before. But it was interesting when she held out the lightsaber to him. I kind of expected him to, force pull it into his hand or something, but nothing. I mean, it's just kind of like, here's the lightsaber, and he's like, oh.
Because that's her lightsaber now. He's got his own, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Or he'll just make another one at the beginning of episode 8.
The next one. Yeah, that's true. So a lot of stuff happens, though. I mean, there's some back and forth, but it's all about hunting down this map to Luke. And Poe Dameron has it at the beginning. He hides it in BB-8, the little ball thing, which I was really hoping was going to be some kind of homicidal droid. But yeah, I was really hoping it was going to be like this killer droid, but no, it was just cute and adorable.
No.
And then I was really, really hoping they weren't going to say, oh, BB-8's really just R2-D2's mind downloaded into this droid, because I was waiting for that when he rolled up to R2-D2.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh. And then when C-3PO came over, I said, please don't say, you'll have your old body back soon, R2.
Right.
And he didn't.
We'll get you back in there, buddy.
Right. So BB-8's a separate thing, but R2 had been kind of in depression mode since Luke left.
Some sort, so,
yeah, it was pretty bad. But as tends to happen, he comes back to life, and he has the crucial piece to the whole story. It helps to fit the map into the right place where it's supposed to go, and so that was pretty cool. R2 to the rescue again.
Right it in.
Yep.
It was so, but when Rey has the Force dream or vision, and she sees Luke touch R2.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's when Luke shut R2 down.
It could be, and put the map in him, basically.
Put the map and did something to him where he was going to turn back on at a predetermined time, like maybe when Rey showed up and when Rey was near him, he would turn back on.
Yeah,
that was when he finally came back on. Was when she was at that base for the first time.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe coincidence, but maybe. Who knows?
Plans within plans. You know how it goes. So, I think at this point in the series, nothing happens that hasn't been kind of already laid out.
Right.
So, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I think the biggest decision point in this was with Kylo Ren, and kind of what was he going to choose? Was he going to choose the light side and go back to his family, or was he going to choose the dark side and continue down that path?
Yeah.
And,
I wonder if he's going to have any more temper tantrums.
I don't know. I think that's all his life's going to be from now on.
Let me just bust up this panel because I'm mad.
Yeah. Lightsaber on. Yeah. No, anger, fear, aggression. Those are the the path to the dark side. You know.
Yeah,
So
he's just like a kid. He didn't know what to
yeah.
do.
Well, and he is. I mean, that's the whole thing. You know, he's still
Mhm.
in a way he's still a child. He's started through his training, and just like Luke, in a way, he wanted faster and faster, just like Anakin. Anakin wanted more power than the
Right.
Jedi was providing, and he wanted
Yeah.
that power to beat death. Luke wanted the power to, solve the problems,
Yeah.
to try to
Save
fix
everybody.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, to try to help his friends. And we don't know what Kylo Ren's exact motivation is yet. And
Yeah.
maybe that's kind of what'll come out, I think, next movie is what is his motivation? What really drove him to this? And why is he like this? It's got to be more than just the influence of an evil emperor, because we know Anakin had more than just that influence.
Yeah, and they said, like Han said when he was talking to Leia about him, that he had too much Vader in him.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Kylo Ren is Han Solo and Princess Leia's son. So that's kind of the big reveal,
I thought the bigger reveal was his name.
Yeah, Ben.
He named him Ben.
That was cool.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and that was really, we didn't find that out until the big scene, and that's they're inside of the planet, the Death Planet, the giant-sized Death Star planet that was created, and they're Han and Chewie are just trying to blow it up, basically to soften it up so that the resistance pilots can take it out, right? Because it won't blow everybody up,
right?
And Han steps out of the shadows, and Kylo Ren is halfway across this bridge, and he says, "Ben," and Kylo turns around and he takes the mask off after a little exchange there, and it's kind of like, is this going to be the reunion that we want or not? And
but visually, the way they did it with the light running out,
yeah,
that once the light was gone, you knew it was over.
Yeah. Actually, I kind of predicted it earlier. I knew this was going to happen because, Kylo Ren's the bad guy.
Wait, it's over?
Right. Yeah, Kylo Ren's the bad guy. So what do you have to do to solidify your role as the bad guy? You have to do something really bad. And in this case, he gets his father in close and he says, "You need to help me." And then he stabs him through with his lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And in a way, it's an interesting and fitting end, because in every series, in a way, they've killed their father. Anakin, in a way, he didn't really kill his father, but he broke Obi-Wan Kenobi's heart,
mm-hmm.
and he killed Mace Windu, and he destroyed the younglings of the temple. He basically destroyed the.
Well, he didn't have a father to kill, right?
No, right, but the midichlorians,
right?
But he destroyed the balance of the Force at that point, or kind of, or maybe brought more balance. I don't know, because he wiped everybody out. And then with Luke, in a way, he killed his father. He didn't really kill him, but he brought him back to the light side, and in effect killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same thing here. Kylo Ren kills his father, and thus kind of solidifies his way on the path to the dark side. So
who do you think was Rey's parents?
Well, I don't know. That's we had some discussions about that after the movie, and whether or not it had anything to do with Luke and anybody like that. And I don't think it does. I don't think there's any affiliation between her and Luke and Leia's family. So I don't think she's like a Skywalker relation at all.
Yeah, well, that's what some people were saying. Well, maybe she's Ben's twin sister, but she seems to be younger than him.
There's no twin.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not doing that. And that was another thing we thought. I'm like, well, are they going to reveal that, they were really twins? And no, there's no twins this time.
All right. So she could be, my theory is she's Luke's daughter, or she just midichlorianed up.
Yeah, there were people, there were all kinds of people who were Force attuned,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Of all races. So, yeah. So it's nothing new for somebody somebody fresh to have that Force attunement.
Right.
I kind of look for it to be something like that, where it doesn't matter who her family was, and in a way, that was what was alluded to in this movie was, you know, you can't be like she stayed on Jakku waiting for her family to return.
Right. And that's what you're told. You know they're not coming back.
Right. And that was the thing. You know they're not coming back. And I think that's the biggest prophetic piece is that they're not coming back. Like, you're not going to see them in any of these movies coming up. So we're not going to find out who your parents are. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
From now on, this is your family. This is who you need to be with. So I don't know. In a way, cut the ties with that and don't dwell on who your family was. You've been waiting for them for how many years? 10, 15 years. So just focus on the future and the destiny that lays before you. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she'll be Luke's daughter, and I don't know. I think there would have been more of a.
Well, I just thought like what made me think that though were a few things like very super slim similarities between her and Luke. Luke was a pilot. She's a great pilot. Luke had to build things all the time. She builds things. And the thing about her having the dream of where he was, like, did he implant that in her at some point, or was that just the Force telling her where she needed to go? I mean,
Force, yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, it leaves some room for thought for what's going to happen.
We got 2
years. I don't know.
We got 2 years.
Yeah.
But we get Rogue One in between.
Right. And are they doing a series? No, Rogue One will be the movie.
You're right.
There's no other TV series though. No. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So, but that's about it. I mean, really, I liked it. I enjoyed. I think the cinematography was great. I loved the battle scenes. They were pretty cool. I mean, Rey and Kylo Ren have that awesome fight. Well, it starts out as Finn and Kylo Ren, duking it out, and ends up with Rey and Kylo Ren. Just she would have had him if it wouldn't have been for the earthquake and stuff. Yeah, that's all that saved him at that point.
Yep, he was beaten.
Yeah, yep. So then
we shot him, and then he got beat.
Right. Well, the lightsaber through the shoulder and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that it's interesting because now is that going to lead to him having robotic parts now? Because that's kind of a staple for all.
Right. Well, at one point I thought she cut his leg off.
That's what I thought too there, but I think she just cut his cape.
Yeah.
And at that point, because he got back up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but yeah, I thought that was like, oh, did he lose a leg? But no. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. The shoulder thing might, his whole arm might be no good, and they may have to replace his arm with some roboty thing. So it'd be kind of cool.
Maybe.
All right. Well, we definitely want to hear from you. What do you think about this movie? I'd love to hear somebody talk about what do they think about the hype versus the actual movie. Like, was it worth all of this build up? I loved it. You can see over here we have some figures behind of us: R2D2, Kylo Ren, and Darth Vader's behind him. That we had actually did unboxing on the Kylo Ren and the Darth Vader figures, and they were really cool.
Yeah.
We still haven't opened up the R2D2. We will be doing a kind of last minute geek gift show here shortly to just talk about a few things that we have that we've gotten recently that may be a great last minute gift for the geeky person on your list. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't seen the movie, definitely I would recommend seeing it. I saw it in 3D, and I just thought that was amazing. I mean, there were some awesome scenes. Like there was one scene with the Star Destroyer that was coming like towards you, and with the 3D special effects, it just was right out of the screen. I mean, the pointy part of that was like I could have reached out and touched it there. It was so cool.
Nice.
And there was a scene there where they're flying along toward a planet, and there's like an asteroid belt, and that asteroid belt was just so close. It's really cool. So
yeah,
I like that kind of stuff.
I'm gonna go see it. I know 2 more times this week. So.
Cool. Yeah, I'll probably go maybe this next weekend and take. I'd like to take Eli, my middle kid, and then just now so far my 2 oldest have seen it, and I'm not sure the 2 little ones really want to see it, but we might make a family day of it and just go.
Yeah,
it's so expensive.
On Christmas, so
yeah. Well, we were go to Costco and get tickets, but used to be you can get 2 tickets for $16.50, I think it was. And now they've upped their price, and it's 2 tickets for $20. which is still cheaper than what it is at the theater, but it's like, man. So anyway. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Tell us what you think about Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And but definitely check out our channel. We've got a ton of other stuff, reviews of TV shows. In fact, coming up here in just a little while, we'll have the season finale review of Into the Badlands.
Yep.
That's a great show. We're doing The Expanse as well on Sci-Fi, and Walking Dead when it comes back on in February. We've got comic book review stuff that goes on all the time. So a little bit of everything for everybody. And stay tuned for that geek gift video as well.
Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.